Let's go.
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We about to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
More than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.
Yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? You already know what it is. This is the day that He has made. Yes, sir, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you, man, just in case you ain't heard, just in case ain't nobody told you, God is good all the time. And all the time He is good. Yes, sir. You know the old commercial, Campbell's soup? Good. Yeah, I don't even begin to describe how good the Lord has been to you. You know, I mean, look, I don't even know your business, but I know He's been good to you. And I know that you probably might want to start acknowledging that fact, because it could have been a whole lot worse. I want to talk about legacy and what it looks like. I've heard people ask the question, you know, what do you want your legacy to be? And I would like for you, if you don't mind participating with me on this afternoon, to let me know what your definition of legacy is. Let's start there. I was talking to some fine young men today, and we happened to get to that point in the conversation where we begin to talk about legacy. And for me, I'm not the smartest, the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm just glad to be in the shed. I'm not the smartest one in the room. I'm just glad to be in the room. So I'm no one scholar or theologian or philosopher or this, that, or the other. But for me, legacy is way more than just what someone is known for. There have been a lot of people who have been known for great things, but once they died, it did too. I don't want to be known for what I did. I want to be known by what I did and how it affected those who experienced it, witnessed, and so on and so forth. I want to have been able to live this life in such a way that when I am gone, I would have left an impact on many of people. I want it to be said that I paved the way, I shed light. I want it to be said that it wasn't so much what he did, but how he made me feel when he did what he did. Case in point, some people are known for doing great things, but in the midst of them doing great things, they made a lot of people feel like dirt. And so even though what you did was a contribution of sorts, it still left a bad taste. It still left behind scars and pain, and some people come to my mind right now who I looked up to and who I leaned to. Notice I said leaned to and not leaned on. If you grew up the way I grew up, but you didn't, so we can't go there. In my life, I learned that there are people that you can lean to, but you can't lean on. We'll talk about that later. You can lean to, but you can't lean on. Because the moment they see that you're leaning on them, they're going to move and watch you fall. And so there were people that I leaned to. I inclined my ear when they spoke. I turned in their direction, sometimes hoping to receive something, and many times did not. It is what it is. I've been in situations, and you probably have been too, where they were supposed to be teaching you, but you were forced to learn. We might as well talk about it. It is what it is. Some people in life have done great things, and they were even great people, but they mishandled what they had while they were here. I eulogize my dad. I think my dad did a great job as a man. I'm proud of my father. I miss my father. I'm thankful for my father. And I had the honor of eulogizing my dad. And during his eulogy, which simply means to speak well of someone, that's another thing. I want to live my life so that it's not hard for people to speak well of me. During the eulogy, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I wanted to drive home to the family and friends that were in attendance was the simple question, what are you doing with your dash? You know, I was born in 1975, dash. And wherever God calls me home, that will be etched on my tombstone. From 1975 dash 2000 and, whatever, whatever, whatever. What are we doing with the dash in between the day we got here and the day we leave here? Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let us maximize the dash. Let us utilize that dash in such a way that when our name is called, we would have not left anything behind. Now, my pastor, Bishop Shaw, he's gone on to be with the Lord. He used to make the statement as it related to when he leaves here, he won't rust out, he's going to wear out. That was from his own mouth. Um, for me, I don't want to rust out. I don't want to wear out. I simply want to walk out. I want to say like Paul, I have kept the faith. I've finished my course. There is now laid up for me a crown of righteousness. I think if we do this thing right, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to rust out nor wear out. I don't want to get down to my last days and not be good for nothing as it relates to my strength and my ability. You know, I just don't. Again, let me get back on track here, because we've got to begin to focus on the dash. God forbid you get the doctor and you got such and such a time to live. Back to my father. I found out after the fact that he knew he was at his last days. The doctor said, you got such and such a time, Mr. McIver. Kept that from us. And I don't fault him for that, because he didn't want his last days, as I tried to look through the mind of my father, knowing him the way I know him. He didn't want us in his last days to worry about his last days and things. He didn't want to do that. So he kept that from us. And I respect that. He kept that from us. God forbid you get the news from the doctor and says you got 3 weeks to live, you got a month to live, you got X amount of time to live. I want to be able to just sit back and say, Lord, if it be your will. I don't want to be in those last days. And I haven't got any news from the doctor, ladies and gentlemen. I'm good. Okay. But this is real adult talk. If I were to get that call, I don't want to spend time running around trying to apologize to people, begging people's forgiveness, trying to make up where no. I'll just say, okay, Lord. And in those last days, I'll be at peace. I'll come to grips with whatever it is, and I'll go in peace. I don't want to say, well, I've never made it to the Hoover Dam. I never, crossed the border. I never did this. I never did that. No, because I'm going to live my life while I can to the best of my ability, because tomorrow is not promised. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I hope you're listening. If you got to get something right with somebody, don't wait until tomorrow. Do it today. Do it today. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, I want to thank God for those tuning in, those who are pressing play. Thank you very, very much. Um, Legacy, what does it look like? Let me see if I can fix this real quick. What does it look like? Don't be so caught up doing the do, you know, getting it done, only to leave here and that be the end of who you were. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. So start showing people that you care. Okay. Some people have perfected the form, they have perfected the style, the approach, whatever it is, of control. There are some people, they can get you to do what they want you to do. But here's the thing about control, especially if we're going to look at legacy in conjunction with this thought. I'm building and I'm successful. I got dollars. I got a little money. Who is that? Damon Darling. Got a dollar. You know, I got a dollar. You know what I mean? Um, but and this is what I've always said about success. If when you look around and you begin to look at your success and there's no one there to share the joy of your success with you, you're not successful. You've been tricked. When you make somebody or manipulate somebody into doing what you want to be done for the purpose of you achieving what you want to achieve, or maybe I should just ask a question, is that the legacy you want for yourself? Is that what you want to speak about you when you're gone? I don't want my family to, well, they will mourn, um, uh, but I don't want them to grieve. Yes, hopefully they'll miss me, uh, but hopefully I would have left enough behind. And I'm not talking about material things only, that will allow them every day that they get up, even though they can't see me, they can still feel me. Every day they get up, they're still feasting off of the manna, if you will, that I left behind. Listen to me, folks. There's a country song, and he says, I wish you get the chance to live like you were dying. If you can't talk about death, you ain't ready to live. I'm just saying. When you get to the point where you can live like you're dying, bruh, you really don't understand the concept of that song. But for me, I'm not gonna wait until a doctor gives me some scary news. I'm gonna live every day like it's my last day. I had to take care of some business on yesterday, and I had been to the same place 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. Okay. And each day that I was there, I was extremely kind to everyone I came in contact with, which I usually am. But for some reason, intentionally, I was extremely kind to everybody. I'm the kind of guy that sometimes I take it as my responsibility to make you feel good today. If you encounter me out at Walmart, at Food Lion, at Randy Marion, wherever the case, I'm passing by Randy Marion right now, so that's why, shout out to Randy. He's a cool guy. He really is, both senior and junior, and the entire family. To be honest with you, they've always showed me love and kindness, and so shout out to the Randy Marion family. But wherever you find me and wherever you encounter me, yeah, I'm trying to make sure that you feel good. That's just who I am. So anyway, 3 days in a row, I'm at this place conducting some business, and so the third day I'm there, and they were so busy, they actually told me that they can't see me today. We've got to reschedule. And I said, well, goodness gracious. Then she leans in and she says, "Where you from?" I said, "I live right here in Statesville." And there's other people who are being turned away. And she leans in and she says, "Come back at 3 o'clock and we'll see what we can do." I said, "Cool." And I walked out. 3 o'clock, I went back. I walk up to the window and she looks at me like she'd never seen me a day in her life. And she says, "Sir, we are plumb full, whatever, whatever, you know." And I leaned in and I whispered the same way she did. "You told me to come back at 3 o'clock." And then she looks at me and she remembers. And she says, "Okay, sir." She looks around. "Can you wait a little while longer?" I said, "Sure, no problem." She said, "Have a seat." So I sit down and I'm just minding my business on my phone, you know. And then finally, you know, she calls me back up and she says, "Okay, I can't promise anything, but hold on, let me see what I can do." And she goes back and I see exactly where she went. And she comes back and she says, "Today is your loud," because I know it wasn't my lucky day. It's the effects or the effect of how I handled and dealt with people the 2 days prior that I was there. Summer, how you doing, young lady? Hope all is well. What are you saying, Rachel? What I'm saying is you've got to deal with people in such a way that it works for you. See, I don't understand why people have to waste time trying to trick, manipulate, and force. And no, 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 no. Just deal with people the right way, and things will work in your favor too. And so it's just a pleasant experience all the way around. Again, that's what I want to be known for. I was having a bad day, but I ran into retro, and for some reason, my day just seems to be a little bit better now. You know, and check it out. Don't get it twisted now. I don't get up every day, and every day is a perfect day. I get up some days, and it's a struggle, fam. You know, I've been pastoring for 18 years. I'm a black man in America. I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know, I'm so many things that have caused a target to be on my back. Everything that I just enumerated or just pointed out is a reason to be targeted by the enemy. You can agree or disagree. It doesn't really matter at this time. But what am I saying? What I'm saying is I'm a man that has many targets on my back. I'm an anomaly. I'm not the normal. Let me just say the way the Bible says it. I'm a royal. I'm of a royal priesthood, a chosen generation, a peculiar people. And so the reality is, what I do is normal, but I'm not normal. I'm not your average Joe, ladies and gentlemen. And as a result, the enemy, we used to sing a song back in the old school church. Satan is on my track. He's trying to turn me back, but I've got to hold out. That's exactly what I got to do. I've got to hold out, and I will hold out. And even though I'm not having a perfect day whenever those days present themselves, I'm still going to make it a point of duty to be a blessing to somebody else. Now, I'm going to close this thing out. I'm already done, but I'm going to get out of your way. Got some more stuff I got to do real quick. What's your legacy? Or what is legacy? What does it look like? Do not say, as it relates to legacy, well, let me say it this way. Legacy is not just what leaders know when to step aside. You might catch that later. If you don't, hit me up, inbox me, call me, snail mail me, email me, whatever, and we can sit down and have a conversation. I'll break it down. All right. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Retro here on the Retro Philosophy Show. And God bless you. Heaven smile on you. I love you with the love of God. Guess what? And he loves you too. So on that note, we'll see you soon.
Retro, hashtag press play.